Hey everybody, this is McDaddy660 here, and today I'm going to be playing a game called Buried. So, as you can see here, Buried is an interactive story. The plot will change based on the choices you make. The story is broken into 5 chapters. Play straight through or at your own pace. There's no waiting and no pauses. Enjoy and choose wisely. Now, I've just taken this game for a spin. I haven't played much though, because I really don't want to spoil the story for you guys, and I don't really want to spoil it for myself. I think it's going to be very interesting, and I hope there'll be a bunch of plot twists and whatever, and it'll be very intriguing. And I also have heard that it's a little bit of a horror game, so be mindful of that. I open my eyes, and the first thing I want to do is scream. I'm flat on my back, and everything seems to hurt. The trees overhead look familiar. It's a clear night sky, almost beautiful. Except for the fact that this means I've been out cold for at least 6 hours. But there's something wrong. I don't remember what, but something happened, and my head, my God, my head hurts. And a ringing in my ears. Is there an accident? An explosion, I think. I remember Dennis screaming. But after that, I can't remember. As I sit up, I notice that my hard hat has been thrown off. I look around the area, but it's not here. It feels strange to go anywhere without my hard hat, but I've got to find the other members of my crew. They could be in danger. Search for hard hat, or forget the hat, search for the crew. Okay, normally I guess you guys would probably go for the crew instead of the hat, but I mean, how far away can the hat be? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not that far away. So I'm gonna go search for the hat first. You have to be like Indiana Jones. He always, he needs to go for his hat first. Okay. I get up on shaky legs and look around for a moment. A few nearby trees look to have been splintered and broken at the base recently. They certainly weren't like this earlier. Searching for the hard hat feels normal. It makes me feel like maybe there isn't something wrong here. I see it behind the fallen log, about 10 feet away from me. How it was thrown so far is beyond me. Driven by nothing more than habit, I walk over to it, pick it up, and place it on my head. Next, I walk over to the center of the logging site and don't like what I see. I told you the hat wouldn't be that far away. I really like the pictures and the scenes. Very cool. The logging site looks like a bomb was detonated right in the center. I don't know where to start. The one load we had managed to stack on a truck for the day is overturned, the trailer bent, and the logs hanging off the back. Where the hell is everyone? My head is killing me, and this ringing in my ears. I can't hear anything. Not birds, not my footsteps, nothing. It makes me wonder if I hit my head after my hard hat flew off. I run through a quick mental checklist to make sure my brain is still working. My name is Roger Hastings. I'm 41 years old. The year is 2017. I own a small logging company, and we've been logging in this strip of Kentucky woodland for almost a month now. Okay, so my brain works. That's a relief, but it also makes me fearful because something is certainly not right here. I look around the logging site, my mind trying to figure out what has happened. Just about every piece of equipment has been overturned or tilted. Well, that's quite a way to learn a little bit about your character. He just goes through some mental checklist, and then he just tells you everything about himself. Like, you didn't have to, there's no such thing like, memory thing. So, Oh my goodness. Usually in stories like this, like, his memory is all gone. The main character, like, doesn't have their memory. They don't remember, like, by anything. I mean, like, they don't remember anything. They don't even remember their own name. And then someone has to either tell them, or they have to, like, find out later. But here, apparently, this guy knows his name. Just goes over some mental checklist. We don't have to do any work. And we just figure it out. Okay. Look at the debris or look at the truck. Let's look at the truck. There might be someone in there. There could either be someone in the truck or someone under the debris. Let's look at the truck. Both of them seem like good options though. The truck. The hitch is completely broken. Like it was blown off in an explosion or a really bad accident. Had there been an explosion, all of the fuel on site would have started a fire. But there's no charring, no burning, nothing. I walked through the area where Dennis had been working. From the looks of it, he'd been moving slowly. He'd only taken down 4 trees today. His metal lunchbox is open, an indicator that he had been taking an early break. But he's not here. No one is here. Where the hell is everyone? I could try to make a call on my cell phone, but its battery is already running really low. Not that it matters. The reception is crap out here. Call someone on cell or yell out. I think naturally if I was in this situation, I'd probably just yell out. Hey guys, where is everyone? Tony, Dennis, Frank, Joe. But their names fall flat among the wreckage. I get nothing back other than scaring away a few birds overhead. Might as well start walking and try to find some answers. The highway is almost a mile back to the woods, down the gravel road we used to reach the site. Maybe the crew ran that way for help. But why would they have left me? Were they scared? Out of sorts? Maybe I can catch up to them. But with my truck turned over on its side, it looks like I'll be walking. My God, I can't even remember what I was doing before waking up on my back. Wait, what's that? Beneath the bulldozer. Oh my goodness. It's a leg. It has to be either Tony or Dennis. The dozer looks unstable, like it might roll over more. Some might not be safe to get close, but at the same time, I can't just leave him there. Stay back or go look? I'm gonna go look. Hey! I yell. Are you okay? Are you alive? Holding onto my hat, I skip over the wrecked equipment and stray logs to get closer. I can see a bit more of the leg. The jeans are soaked in blood. I recognize the worker boots. It's clearly Tony. His leg is bent at an impossible angle, nearly crushed flat. The closer I get, the more apparent it becomes that Tony didn't survive. Leave the body alone, or pull the body out. If you leave, there's the respect for the dead and whatnot, but let's pull his body out though. I try to pull him out, but he's just not budging. That's when I see the blood coating the ground under him. It's thick and fresh, so dark on the dirt that it looks black. As I'm tugging, I hear something crunch, but I somehow manage to pull him out. His legs are absolutely crushed, and his stomach looks deflated. Blood is covering everything from the navel down. His face was turned to the right when he was crushed. It looks like a broken plastic mask, seeping with blood and bits of shattered skull. My goodness, I can't believe this. I have to turn away. That's when I hear a deafening creaking noise, and I'm bashed in the head from behind as the bulldozer shifts lower to the ground. I roll clear and end up on my back. My eyes struggle to focus. I'm a little shaken up, but I'm fine. Thank God I was wearing my hard hat. I quickly get up and dust myself off. I can't stay here. I have to find Dennis, Frank, and Joe. I have to find out what happened here. See, I told you that hard hat would come in handy. Ooh. Logs. As I walk through the stacks of logs from the last week or so of work, everything feels frozen. This high-pitched sound in my ears. It's terrible. It keeps happening every few seconds, and sounds like it's coming from far away. I can't help but wonder, is it my ears? Or is it something else? The silence out here is creepy, and there's a smell like the atmosphere after a bad summer storm. I might as well admit it. I'm a little scared. Everyone is missing, and it's dead quiet out here. There doesn't even seem to be a breeze to rustle the leaves and branches. My right knee hurts like hell. My head is hurting so bad before that I never even noticed the pain in my knee. I must have hurt it during the what? Accident? Or, wait, is that Dennis? I see him sitting on the ground, motionless, about 30 feet away. Yell out or walk up? If I've played a couple, I think 1 or 2 horror games or other games alike, if you see someone sitting on the ground, like, you think it might be Dennis, and then you come closer, and then that's when you realize it's some creepy person. Therefore, I'm not gonna walk up to him. I'm probably just gonna yell out. Dennis! I yell. Dennis, can you hear me? Dennis lets out a shout, like someone waking from a nightmare. Then he looks back at me from the ground. Yeah, Roger, I hear you. He hollers back as I head over to him. I should give this guy an accent, though, so you can tell the difference between the two. Okay. Dennis is built like a wrestler, and has the tough personality to match. But in this moment, he looks disoriented and even a little anxious. Though I'm glad to see him, the fear on his usually confident face is alarming. What the hell happened? What the hell happened? What's going on? He asks. Don't know. The crew is missing. Missing? Dennis says. Where do you think they went? I'm gonna use that one. It sounds funny. I'm not sure, I say, but it has me pretty freaked out. Something's not right here. Still sitting on the ground, he looks around the woods, just as if he is just now understanding the severity of the situation. The equipment was overturned. The dozers too, I say, shifting my hard hat and wiping my forehead. You okay? I asked him. Yeah, just shaken up. Me too. This might have been the most intimate conversation Dennis and I have ever had. While he and I have always been on good terms, we've never been particularly close. I've always respected him, though. Sure, he comes to work a few times looking like he'd been in a bar fight the night before, but I've also seen him do an enthusiastic impression of a dinosaur as he played with Tony's kids while they waited for their dad to finish up his shift. It's then that it hits me. Dennis and Tony were good friends. I'm not sure I want to rattle him about the news of Tony's death right now. Not before we know what's going on. But he has a right to know. Oh, I think this is one of the probably the most important, one of the important choices in the game. I could mention his death now, because it might help me out in the long run. As I remember sometimes, like, if you don't mention their death, then they just get suspicious when they figure it out later, and then that's when they get mad at you. So I think I'm probably better off just saying it now. Instead of Dennis figuring it out like by himself. Dennis's eyes fixate on me, startled. He was crushed under the dozer, I say. Dennis pauses for a moment, like he's trying to understand what I said. His eyes narrow and his bottom lip quivers. Shit, he says, and I can tell that he's fighting back tears. He and Tony had been tight, almost like brothers. Hey, he added quickly, as if trying to escape the reality of Tony's death. Did you see that light? No, I say. What did you see? I don't know, Roger, he says. It was like this flare of white light. It came right out of the ground, like an explosion. So there was an explosion, I say. Maybe it's some equipment, or... This was no equipment, Dennis interrupts, agitated. This huge ball of light came right out of the damn ground. What did it look like? Where did it go? What did it look like? Like looking into the sun. It just feels like someone stabbed me in the eyes with a hot knife. When? I'm not sure, he answers. But I had finished about 10 trees for the day and was about to top one. That's when it happened. You were almost done with 10 trees, I ask. Yeah, he says, looking at the ground. You know, I wouldn't want to take a lunch break until I was done. It actually hurts my throat a little bit. Ugh. And that's when the light blew up. Why, you don't believe me? I believe you, or I think you're exaggerating. I think I have no other choice rather than to believe him. Because, like, all this stuff happens and I don't even remember what the hell is happening. So, maybe I should just believe him. You believe Dennis's story. He saw what he saw, I think to myself. He has no reason to lie about this. My goodness, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, he says. But if I'm being honest, it scared me pretty bad. And if it's all the same to you, I'd like to get the hell out of here. We both stand up and start heading towards the road. It isn't until we start moving that I see Dennis is wounded. His right side is coated in blood, the red seeping through his blue work shirt. There are splatters on it here and there, but there are large red splotches that make me worry. Are you in a lot of pain, or how'd you get that injury? No, I'd rather not remind Dennis of the pain that he's in right now, so I think I'll just avoid it by talking about how he got it instead. Because if I just asked about if he's in pain, then he'll just feel the pain all over again. And pain is like a mental thing. How'd you get that injury? I'm not sure, Dennis replies. I must have gotten thrown or hurt somehow from that light. It's then that I notice that the strange ringing noise is still filling the air. Hey, I say, stopping. Do you hear that high-pitched ringing noise every once in a while? Dennis looks scared when I ask him this question, and he just nods. Oh, I thought it was just me, he says. He looks out of sorts and uncertain. I've never seen him like this before. It's obvious that he needs some reassurance. Even though I'm his boss, there's something very unnerving about this. We'll be okay. It's probably nothing. Or, it's freaking me out. We'll be okay. It's nothing. Come on. Let's be realistic, I tell myself. I might as well try to be empathetic. Out here in the middle of these woods, the ringing could be anything. Maybe a car alarm from through the wood or something. Still, even my passive comment seems to have reassured Dennis. He looks a bit calmer, more relaxed. We both start moving forward and don't say another word. Did you try to call Frank? Dennis asked. I know he had his cell on him today. Not yet. Luckily I still have some battery left. I pull out my cell and call Frank, happy I didn't make that call to Dennis earlier. It rings, but it doesn't pick up. But then I hear his phone go off, behind the stack of logs. Dennis and I give each other a look. As the phone goes to voicemail, I hang up. and we walk behind the logs to find Frank's phone on the ground, abandoned. We look around for Frank, but find nothing. Not a single trace. It's then that I notice something really odd. A 10-foot wide hole in the ground, right near where the phone was. But there's no stray pile of removed dirt or rocks. It's clean, smoothly dug, cutting through the earth. Wide, but only a few feet deep. It looks unnatural, like the ground was just deleted. No shovels or diggers used. Dennis walks over to it. This looks like the same kind of hole where I saw that light coming from the ground, he muses to himself. I say nothing. My mind is spinning, but I don't know what to think. We need to get out of here, Dennis mutters. At that moment, the ringing noise carries through the forest again, sending a shiver down my spine. Dennis is right. There's something strange going on, and we might not be safe here. But that ringing noise might give us a clue to where the rest of the crew went. Ooh, I have to investigate the noise, huh? I don't know about this. Usually you want to avoid that stuff. But then again, we can find our crew. I don't know, I'm gonna get out of here. You decided to avoid the sound. With that, you turn and start walking to the west, in the direction that I'm pretty certain leads to the road. Yeah, we just find the local police station, they'll handle the rest, they'll find the bodies and whatever. Alright. It's sort of embarrassing. I've been a logger for nearly 15 years, but I'm finding it easy to get lost in these woods. The trees are so thick in place that the moonlight doesn't even reach the ground. It's easy to get turned around. My only hope is that I can find the overgrown dirt road that will lead us back to the highway. You're sure we're heading the right way? Dennis asks. Pretty sure, I say. I turn to him and see that he's clearly in pain. It's at this moment that we come upon another one of those smooth holes. This one is even stranger because a nearby tree also has a chunk cut out of it. The arc goes smoothly through the ground and then up through the trunk, like a cartoon wrecking ball blasting through both of them. What the hell are these things? Dennis whispers to himself. He takes a step down into the hole. His boots create imperfections in the shape, like footprints on the sand dune. So there's a big hole. We either step into the hole or go around the hole. Let's walk around the perimeter. I don't know, like, what's in that hole. I think it's best if we look around. I walk along the edge, each step sending pebbles down into the hole and ruining its perfect shape. I'm amazed at how smooth it is. Even rocks that were under the earth have been sheared to fit in spherical shapes. But as I'm noticing this, I notice Dennis' feet start to sag. Dennis, get out! I start, but I don't finish. Before I can react, the ground is giving away and he's falling. I try to step back, but the fissure that opens up disintegrates the ground beneath my feet as well. I cry out in surprise. I can barely hear Dennis letting out a curse as we go down into the earth. Or maybe that's where the title comes, Buried. Oh, the music's so intense. It just sends shivers down your spine though, make you scared. The fall isn't a long one, but when I hit something a few seconds later, it hurts like hell. The wind goes rushing out of me when I hit, and a sharp pain flies through me. What the hell? I say, once I get my breath back. Beside me, Dennis is slowly rolling over to get to his feet. I look up and see the hole in the ground where we fell through. It looks to be about 10 feet over our heads. It's completely dark. There's a small flicker of light further into the cave ahead of us, and a solid wall of rock behind us. Looks like the only ways out are further down into the cave, or up through the way we fell in. Dennis might be able to boost me up there, but with his injury, I'm not sure how stable he is. He might drop me. Now we're probably gonna have to go inside the creepy cave. I knew I couldn't avoid it forever. I knew I couldn't avoid it. I decide we'd better not risk hurting ourselves trying to climb out. As we turn to head into the cave, I take a closer look at the light further ahead and realize it's artificial. We both start heading towards it instinctively. As we step into the light, panic gently gnaws at me because what I'm seeing makes absolutely no sense. It's no longer a cave or hole. It's a long, sparsely lit corridor. Ooh, it's a big corridor. It's a massive corridor, in fact. It seems to go on forever. The corridor is mostly dark, with emergency lights every 10 feet or so. I turn to my left and see that there's a door which appears to lead upwards to the outside. But it's locked tight. I push as hard as I can, but no luck. Dennis, help me with this, I say. He comes over and we both try to kick the door open, but it doesn't budge. For some reason, someone doesn't want people getting out of here. Looks like we're heading down the hallway. Tiptoe quietly or walk quickly. Okay, if it was me, I just want to get the heck out of there. I mean, I don't want to stay in this dark tunnel forever. I just walk quickly. I'm eager to figure out what's going on. No, I'm not. That's the opposite of what I just said. I want to get out of here quickly. I'm not eager of what's going on. Our footsteps echo loudly in the dust and the dirt. Dennis leads on me for support. If there is anyone here, it's not like we're trying to be quiet and stealthy with the intention of sneaking up on them. If anyone is listening, they definitely know we're here now. I don't really care. I just want to get out of here. As I carry Dennis to the far end of this otherwise featureless place, I see a flight of concrete stairs leading down. I have to set Dennis down on the floor. His weight is killing me. Dennis, are you okay? Stop worrying, man, he said. I'll be okay. I just need a minute to rest. Oh my goodness. But looking at him, I'm not so sure. I can still hear the ringing noise every so often, coming from somewhere in here. I look ahead at the concrete stairs, pointing toward them so that Dennis sees them. Can you make it down those stairs? I asked. He stands up slowly, visibly making an effort not to fall back down. Yeah, he says, and sounds a little irritated. He starts for the stairs without me, and I have no choice but to follow. We approach the stairs, and by just looking at them, I get the sense that we're crossing some sort of line here. There may very well be no going back. Oh, I don't like no going back. I wonder if the choices can kill you in this game, though. As I head down the stairs, I notice that they look aged. That damn ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down the cellar of a haunted house, the light becoming scarce as the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. Dennis makes it a few steps down before he's leaning on the wall. He's breathing like he just finished a marathon. Pause to give him a break or keep up the pace. Look, I want to get out of here, like as much as he does, but maybe I should give him a break though. But I have a feeling that the longer we stay in here, the better our chance of something's gonna catch up with us. Or I know we're not alone. We're gonna pause to give him a break. Let's take a break, I say, putting my hand towards his shoulder to help steady him. Dennis lets out a sigh. Thanks. I don't feel too great, boss. As we both squat on a stair, my mind seems to lock in on the unknown fate of the rest of my crew. Frank is married, and I've met his wife a few times. A nice woman with a huge laugh. My heart sags a bit when I realize I might never again get to hear him belting out classic rock tunes during our lunch break. Joe? Well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old and is considering community college. His folks are deadbeats, so he's been providing for himself since the age of 16 or so. Maybe I can still find them and still get to hear Frank singing in his deep baritone voice after too many drinks. After a few moments, Dennis says, "All right, let's keep going." We both stand up, leaning on each other. I have to make Dennis stay behind me as I stick my foot out in search of the next step. I can't help feeling like a child as a very powerful fear seizes me. I'm expecting a monster to reach out of the darkness, slicing into my throat. Oh, that's what I was scared of. After what feels like forever, we come to the bottom of the stairs. We're closer to that ringing noise now. The door sits securely in the wall and looks just as out of place down here as I feel. A sliver of light seeps through, illuminating the area. The door has what looks like a panel with sorts of labels and lights. Small embossed print above the panel says Level 1, Entrance Gate, Transport Sector. And there's a button with no label. We push the unknown button, or we inspect the panel. I'm not really all for pressing unknown buttons. So let's look at this panel. The panel looks like a diagnostic or alert system of some kind. Each label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged. Experiment in progress. Shutdown engaged. Experiment? Wait. Those all appear to be off, but one of those phrases has a slowly blinking red light next to it. The only powered light on this whole thing. Abnormal entity breach. What the hell? I slowly push the door open where Dennis suddenly steps in front of me, taking the lead. "Let's go," he says. "I want to find out what the hell this place is." As Dennis walks through, that ringing or beeping or whatever it is gets a little louder. The door closes behind us with a click. I can't help but notice the wobble in Dennis's step as he lets out a grunt. "You sure you're healthy enough to keep going?" I ask. "It doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the woods right now." He seems scared. Something I've never seen before. Angry? Yes. Upset? Yes. But Dennis is never scared. "What did you see?" Or, "What's so dangerous?" What did you see? "I don't know what it was, boss. It was like someone had left a radio on, crackling, but we don't have any radios at the site. I don't know. It was like something in the forest was moving." I give him a doubtful look, and he casts his eye on the ground, frustrated. "I know how it sounds," he said, "but I know what I felt. It was like walking into a funeral parlor, feeling death and gloom everywhere. I've been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. It had become just background noise." We take a few more steps, and I can now see where we are. It makes no sense. Yet another thing that simply seems out of place. The shapes and muted color of metal are easy to identify, but it just doesn't belong here. End of chapter 1. Respect the dead. You and 64% of players pulled Tony's body out from under the bulldozer. Secrets. You and 76% of players were upfront with Dennis about Tony's death. Trust. You and 55% told Dennis you believed his story. Curiosity. You and 25% of players ran away from the ringing sound. Alright. Well, that's Buried, Chapter 1. I hope you all enjoyed it. Remember, this is MacDaddy660 here. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much.